तो डियर स्टूडेंट्स, आज से सीबीएसई वालों के लिए केमिस्ट्री 12th क्लास का सेकेंड चैप्टर में स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ और डेली मेरे चैनल को आप सब्सक्राइब करो और मेरे साथ जुड़े रहें। डेली आपको टॉपिक वाइज वीडियो मैं अपलोड करूंगा और यदि आप सब्सक्राइब करेंगे तो आपके पास ये पहुंचेगा नोटिफिकेशन, जिसके द्वारा आप घर बैठे केमिस्ट्री पढ़ सकते हैं। जब चाहे तब इसको आप रिवर्स करके देख सकते हैं यदि एक बार में समझ में नहीं आता है तो once again I repeat it, I am going to start with chapter 2nd of 12th class, that is solution. And first of all you must be knowing what is solution. So solution is a homogeneous mixture of solute and solvent. In 11th class also we have been studied it. Solution is a homogeneous mixture of solute and solvent. And what is solute? The substance which is going to be dissolved. The substance which is going to be dissolved is known as solute, and the substance in which solute is dissolved. The substance in which solute is dissolved is known as solvent. So like this we can say the homogeneous mixture of solute and solvent is known as solution. Is it clear? Okay. So the first topic of this chapter is vapor pressure and Raoult's law. Vapor pressure and Raoult's law. So what do you mean by vapor pressure? Suppose this is one container in which we have filled water. When we heat it, then what happens? A vapor forms and this vapor exerts pressure on the surface of liquid. So this is not sufficient definition. The pressure exerted by the vapor on the surface of liquid is known as vapor pressure. This is not exact definition. So what is the exact definition of vapor pressure? At a state of equilibrium, the pressure applied by the vapor on the surface of liquid is known as vapor pressure. Then what's the meaning of this term equilibrium? Why are we adding here equilibrium? Equilibrium terms means the time at which rate of evaporation becomes equal to the rate of condensation, because after certain time this liquid converts into vapor and after some time again this vapor converts into liquid by the process of condensation. So this is the process of vaporization, this is the process of condensation. The time at which rate of evaporation or rate of vaporization becomes equal to the rate of condensation is known as state of equilibrium. Once again I repeat it, the time at which rate of evaporation or vaporization becomes equal to the rate of condensation is known as state of equilibrium. So at a state of equilibrium, the pressure applied by the vapor, at a state of equilibrium, the pressure applied by the vapor on the surface of liquid is known as vapor pressure. Is it clear to all of you? Vapor pressure. Now we have to understand here for what vapor pressure will be high. This is pure solvent, and this is solution containing non-volatile solute. This is the solution containing non-volatile solute. This is solution containing non-volatile solute. So for what vapor pressure should be high? Either for pure solvent or for solution containing non-volatile solute. So the vapor pressure of solvent, pure solvent, is always greater than the vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute. Once again I repeat, listen carefully. The vapor pressure of pure solvent is always greater than the vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute. What is the reason behind this? So there are two reasons for this. The first reason is that here only solvent-solvent interaction takes place. In case of pure solvent, only solvent-solvent interaction takes place. Whereas in case of solution containing non-volatile solute, solvent-solvent interaction takes place as well as this solute also interact with solvent molecules towards itself. That's why the rate of evaporation or vaporization decreases and less amount of vapor is formed. So vapor pressure decreases. Is it clear? In case of pure solvent, only solvent-solvent interaction takes place. But in case of solution containing non-volatile solvent as well as solute-solvent, both types of interaction takes place, due to which molecules of solvent do not go upwards by vaporization and hence vapor pressure decreases. And one more reason is that upper layer of solvent solution is occupied by the solute particles, due to which also the rate of vaporization decreases, and hence these are the two regions due to which vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is always lower than that of vapor pressure of pure solvents. This is very important concept. By learning this concept only you can achieve some other topics present in this chapter. Without knowing the concept nicely about vapor pressure, we cannot go ahead. So once again I repeat, what is vapor pressure? Pressure at a state of equilibrium, pressure applied by the vapor on the surface of a liquid is known as vapor pressure. And again, vapor pressure of pure solvent is always lesser than the vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute. This concept again it will come in next topic. So listen it carefully. On the basis of this vapor pressure, we can explain this Raoult's law also. How? Let us see. Raoult's law. Consider a vessel in which we have filled pure solvent and then we pour some non-volatile solute in it. So it becomes, here we are studying Raoult's law. Very important for your board exam. This is pure solvent. We have added some non-volatile solute in this. If we add some non-volatile solute in this, so what do you think about vapor pressure of this solution? Vapor pressure of this solution, PS, vapor pressure of this solution. Which solution? Which contains non-volatile solute. On what factor does it depend? What do you think? Either amount of solvent or amount of solute particles, non-volatile solute particles. It will depend on both solute as well as solvent. But positively, how does it increase or decrease? This is my question. So solvent always present in excess amount, large amount. So greater the amount of solvent, greater will be vapor pressure of solution. And whenever there are two or more components are mixed in any solution, so instead of amount, we express that amount in the form of mole fraction. Instead of amount, we say mole fraction. So we can say this vapor pressure will depend upon the mole fraction of solvent. So at a constant temperature, at a definite temperature, we can say greater the mole fraction of solvent, greater will be vapor pressure, greater will be solvent, greater will be rate of vaporization, larger will be amount of vapor, greater will be vapor pressure. So we can say at a definite temperature, this vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is directly proportional to mole fraction of solvent. Just keep this in your mind forever. This A notation stands for solvent always, and this B stands for solute. Keep this in your mind. S stands for solution. Okay, once again, vapor pressure of this solution depends upon mole fraction of solvent. Greater the amount of solvent, greater will be mole fraction of solvent and greater will be vapor pressure. So, how will you define this? This law is only known as Raoult's law. Need not to memorize it. You can get its statement by yourself. What do you see here? Vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is directly proportional to mole fraction of solvent. So what is the statement of Raoult's law? At a definite temperature, the vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is directly proportional to mole fraction of solvent. Just see clear. Actual vapor. These vapors are formed only by the solvent. These solvents, these are the non-volatile solute. So they don't go upward. They can't be volatile. So in vapor we get only what? Solvent. So in actual practice, this vapor pressure is due to only solvent. So this vapor pressure of solution can also be written as vapor pressure of solvent. Once again I repeat, as this vapor formed only due to solvent, solutes are not present in this. So instead of vapor pressure of solution, we can write it vapor pressure of solvent also. So this is equation 1. From 1 we can write like this: PA is directly proportional to X. On removing this proportional sign, we get one proportionality constant K. This is equation 2. Now we are going for pure solvent. Listen carefully. Pure solvent. Pure solvent means in which no non-volatile solute is added. Pure solvent means only volatile solute, only solvent. No volatile non-volatile solute. For this, already I have been explained this before some time. Vapor pressure of pure solvent is always greater than the vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute. Got it? Vapor pressure of pure solvent is always greater than the vapor pressure of this solution. So let is pure solvent. For pure solvent, just we are considering a case for pure solvent. Let vapor pressure is PA0. This is vapor pressure of solvent, but how? For what? Which type of solvent? P, not that means pure. So this is vapor pressure of pure solvent, and this is vapor pressure of this solvent only, but which in which solutes are present. Once again, just see carefully. This is vapor pressure of pure solvent in which no solutes are present, and this is vapor pressure of solvent, but in which non-volatile solutes are present. So which one will be greater? Do you know? Already I have explained. Vapor pressure of solvent, pure solvent is always greater than that of vapor pressure of pure solution containing non-volatile solute. So for pure solvent, consider vapor pressure is PA0. Now, do you think mole fraction of solvent, according to its definition, number of moles of solvent upon total number of moles. So this is the definition of, according to definition of mole fraction, we can write it now. See. For pure solvent, no solute is added in this. If there is no solute, so number of moles of solute will be 0. So NV will be 0, because we are considering for pure solvent. So in this condition, XA will be Na upon Na. It will be cancelled. It becomes 1. So XA is equal to 1. Mole fraction of pure solvent is 1. Now, on putting these values in equation 2, from equation 2 we can get, see, instead of PA, what can you write? PA0, because we are considering for pure solvent. For pure solvent, vapor pressure is PA0. So we can write here PA0 is equal to K into XA, mole fraction of pure solvent. What is it? 1. So here K is equal to, we got PA0. Again, putting this value in equation 2, this K we can put in equation 2. So we get here PA is equal to P0 XA. So this is the mathematical form of Raoult's law. Once again, according to definition of Raoult's law, vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is directly proportional to mole fraction of solvent. As this vapor is formed only by the solvent, not by solute. So vapor pressure of solution can consider as equal to the vapor pressure of solvent also. So instead of solution, we can write down solvent. On removing this proportional sign, proportionality constant K comes. Now we are given equation 2. We are considering for pure solvent. For pure solvent, vapor pressure is different than the vapor pressure of solution solvent containing non-volatile solutes. So instead of this, we can write P naught. Mole fraction of pure solvent. According to definition of mole fraction, we can write it for pure solvent. Number of solute particles will be 0. It will be 0. So it becomes 1. So these value we can substitute in equation 2. From equation 2 we get P naught is equal to K into 1 means K is equal to P naught. Again this value can be substituted in equation 2 on putting the value of K is equal to Pa in equation 2. We get Pa is equal to P naught as it. So this is the mathematical form of Raoult's law. This is not completed. Now it has been started. So this is first class, so I think it should be over at this point only. So tomorrow we can move again. Tomorrow's topic will be determination of relative lowering in vapor pressure with the help of Raoult's law. And then again we can move with the help of Raoult's law calculation of molecular mass of solute or solvent. So in next class I'll explain how to determine relative lowering in vapor pressure on the basis of Raoult's law and how to determine molecular mass of solute on the basis of Raoult's law. Thank you.